Too loud, too loud, too loud, too loud, too loud. Oh, evening. How are we doing? Oh, not too much is up. We're gonna knock stuff over. We're gonna sort out today's loot. Well, not just today's loot. We're going to sort out a bunch of loot. And then we're going to work on some stuff. Alright, stuff. Big loot, small loot. Already got one of those over there. Small loot. Small loot. Small loot. Small loot. Okay. Woo. Loot. 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 Mountains of loot. Whew. All right. Let's. Try to move the mouse. I wonder why this mouse just doesn't want to. There's two reasons the mouse doesn't want to move. First reason is its main receptor is in the other room. The other reason is it needs a good solid colored background for best transmittance. There we go. Hey, don't lick that. No. Do not lick the bottle, Sam. No. Okay. And that fan would be so much better if it was a little bit to the side. How's it going, Stacy? And Joseph and everybody else. Yep, fan on. Mwah. It was so humid today. My God. So insanely humid. Whew. Well, first we're gonna go through the loot. And then we're gonna see what's gonna happen with the loot. Hopefully we don't have to berate the cat for getting into the loot. Alright, so. Lights for experimental round the color bottles. The ones in the other room should be green. These should be blue. These should be waterproof. That's not bad. It's reasonably compact as well. if I like the degree to which they are supposed to be waterproof. I don't think that thing is going to grip it well enough, but alright. Assistant kitties have already been pawing at the loot. Yep, lantern is coming along well. So these are... I don't like how that likes to turn on. A slight bit of jarring. This needs to be definitively off and definitively on. Alright, well, we'll have to monitor that situation. Okay, so we got lights with the tubes. These are the tubes, which are a little bit distorted at the bottom. The idea being that we have a hole in the top with a light jammed in there, the tube itself covered in Wytchwood and maybe some other bits, and the tube hangs glowing from an actor's neck like some sort of funky doodle soul caught in there. So a nifty little lit accessory, hopefully. Nice, those are great ones. So that's a project. Alright, I got skulls to Wytchwood. Which have LED eyes. Oh, I got enough catnip from good old Aldi's to settle them for a while. The tubes are unfortunately plastic, but they were the right price. About $9 for 12 of them. So glass ones are usually smaller, usually stoppered with corks instead of screws, and I don't want to cut my hand. So plastic ones were my go-to. I figured they would be a better go. And if it doesn't work, well, I'm out less than the cost of a value meal at McDonald's, you know? So who cares? Alright. These eyes are gonna be too big. And this skull is more solid styrofoam. Even! But I remember them being... I remember these being a lot more hollow inside. I can make them hollow readily enough, but you know, if you don't gotta, why would you? You know, I might not even have to do any modifications to these at all, except for throw some eye caps in there. I'd like a more diffused red, and then I want to Wytchwood that skull. See if I throw it on a lanyard or something. Right now we are unboxing the loot. I made a loot run today. With my Halloween compatriot. I would have liked to take other Halloween compatriots, but they were working, so sadly couldn't get as many in on it as I would have wanted. I have no doubt I will end up working on the lantern. Eventually I need either smaller scissors or I really miss a pair of dissecting scissors right now. Really miss a pair of dissecting scissors. Nippers. I have a pair of nippers in the other room. I have a pair of nippers here. Box. It's alright, we can always dangerously do it with an X-Acto blade. That'll work alright. Oh, this is dumb. This is dumb. This is not smart. No, no, this is dumb. Yeah. Just need to get a different pair of cutters. Kitchen scissors is just too big. How does that even look? Looks like he's looking up. Derp. I have a derp skeleton. Of course, I can bend that LED down. Maybe I can just hit it with some hot glue and get some diffusion out of that. Oh, pardon. Speaking of hot glue, let's warm up the gun. Kind of want to see if this will work all right. This is just part of the loot, as far as I'm concerned. I've been wanting to put Wytchwood on a skull for flip all ever, so. This is just a convenient excuse to do so. So I bought like 4 skulls. My haunt compatriot has 3 at his place, and no doubt we've got a bunch downstairs too. Just cruising by the right store, so here we go. So I bought some skulls. Because, you know, what else do you do? Trim, trim, trim away. Let's see if we can get these things not looking herpy derpy. Before they get Wytchwooded. Also have them not fall out onto the craft table. All right, turn this on, we get, it's gonna look awful. Oh my god. It looks like he just wanged his head. Wanged on. Oh dear. Oh, my poor skeleton. How about we use the template of the one that fits better to correct the one that doesn't fit so well. And then we'll put some hot glue over those LEDs. Let's see if we can't diffuse that light a bit. You look a little less stupid. I want the kids to be scared, not laughing their butts off. Tremble before the skeleton of terror. Have kind of a day, Danielle? I know I did. It was 11 billion degrees outside. Yet. Sit him there until that gets hot enough to hit those eyes and see if we can't diffuse the light. In the meantime, let's go through more loot. Skulls. This was the one that was a little deformed. It's a good one. I guess it's a little deformed too. Well, what do you want for $1.50? You know? Kill for 62 degrees. Absolutely kill! I got these from a craft store called Michael's. went in and I raided their stuff. Teacher, I got a nice discount. Whoop. Birds. Mini skulls, they're actually pretty good. Yeah, rats. Got lots more mini skulls. I got more rats. I gotta fit a room here if I keep pouring stuff out like that. Whew. Yep. I was a very, very busy shopper today. Insanely busy. Super busy. I've been looking at similar stuff online for a while, and it's all, $20 for 10 pieces and da-da-da-da for... It's like, I don't need 10 of these things. I just need a couple here and there. Really, really, really don't want a bajillion bits here. It's going around the light more than it's going on the light. Let's try to do that slowly. Somewhere I have a whole bunch of diffusers, but on. Just a little bit on. Those are really not diffusing it very well. Gotta give it some more time to cool, I guess. Some hand, catch. Yeah, that was also another very, very distinctly handy aspect of going to Michael's. It's all right there. I know exactly what I'm getting. And even though a lot of the websites, even Amazon was pretty good, they'll tell you the measurements. They'll tell you, all right, the bottle is this many millimeters tall, this many millimeters wide, the bottle lip is this wide, they'll really give you the millimeters there. It's just no substitute for, aha, here it is in my hands. And again, there's only so many of the darn things you need. Like this here is more than enough for a witch display. More than enough for a witch display. Should have gotten some sort of basket or something. This is stupid. This is separated again. And now it's fine. A little worried about that fabric softener, guys. A little worried about that fabric softener. Ugh. Carried away. This doesn't even include all the other stuff I got, too. Let's see what's coupons. My keys, a couple of paints. Paints actually can go behind me. I'm gonna throw the paints here, shelf. Alright, let's see. No, it's in that I will pull out, but I am not dry stage. Well, we have hopes of having a witch. I mean, the witch in our display habitually is the person who mans the candy table. And that is their haunt task throughout the evening. We have no witch prop or anything like that, but typically we do have a person who is the witch. Other things I wanted to solve. Apart from where am I going to put all this stuff? I'm going to need to get a witch kit. Our Halloween stops immediately after Halloween. Mostly because the house that we haunt is not a house that any of us own. And so consequently, we cannot keep our things there and out or anything like that. We've got to pack up our toys and get them gone. Yeah, I will not have a witch that is turn left, turn right. It's not a witch. Okay, entirely to just no. I'm either going to need a smaller light or a different way of doing it. That could work. I could do this one with a similar style to the other ones. Only problem with it will be it's going to have a wider base, but that's okay. That'll still work. Put a couple of extra tags here. Garbage. Believable, but not very cool. I think that alone is a cooler. They do sell those little cork lights, and I could get away with that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 of these bottles. These 4 have ones that are way too small. That will probably never happen. You'll be losing half the lights. You only got 4 in the middle. You have horrible occlusion. And nobody will be able to see anything. However, it's one of the reasons I got the new lights. I was thinking maybe some of the mini pucks. Yeah. Hey, gift. I got these at Michael's. These were a Michael's find. However, it can be corked with these lights. I agree, Cat. Alexa, turn off craft light. It's very obvious that the light's coming from the top. And not the bottom. That's not necessarily problematic, but these guys also do not have the greatest turn on, turn off capacity. Yeah, I might just need some colored water in there with some Wytchwood. see if they make like a glow stick pill that can be dropped in the bottom to give it some illumination. Something like that would do nicely. Alexa, turn on craft light. But either way, all do quite well. Yeah, I definitely want to examine the possibility of the mini pucks. Again, I think though if you raise these off the ground a little bit too much, they can handle a little bit built into the design. But I would not want to add a big big branching thing on the bottom. We'll see. We'll see. Let's keep working on fusing these threads. Just engage my superpower. Lost the thing I was holding 2 seconds ago. Yeah. No, not my precious supplies. How's it going, Sarah? Huh, that's interesting. I kind of like it better when you look derpy. Now it just looks weird. Doesn't really look like anything. Yeah. I have to be on my guard. That looks especially awful. That eye, this eye is not great. Let's add more there. There, and see if that at least modulates it to look a little less goofy. And if so, we'll stick those on and start Wytchwooding a bit. I don't think these skulls compare at all to these. Woo! I'll use that for a form for something. These guys are much higher quality. Some batting, you say? That might do it. Let's see how this looks and then give it a shot. What? What's your problem, Fuzzface? Good boy. Good boy. Can't help it. It's been a long day. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a very, 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 very long day. It was mostly the traipsing around in the super hot humidity. It was just... and Buddy were sitting outside of Home Depot looking like, okay, it's 30 yards to the door, but the air is lava. What's your problem, Fuzzball? Wow. What's your furry issue? Yep, that's not bad. The whole areas are shadowed. Just a weird, stupid shadow. I wonder if I didn't even use the cups and just put some batting over it. You know, it doesn't look half bad as it is right there. Just that little bit of hot glue diffused it out already. Polyfill, but I just had it in hand, so kind of curious. It really diffuses the effect. Alexa, turn off craft light. Alexa, turn off craft light. That's a neat effect. You know, I got some cotton bits here too. So polyfill's nice. Another thing, cotton's not gonna fluff as nice as polyfill. Glue around the edges has been a problem. Mutes the light a lot. It doesn't look like he has dumbass eyes anymore. Yep, got the car back yesterday. Jetted down to Binghamton immediately for health reasons, because I was going to go insane if I didn't get out and do something. Went down to Home Goods and did some shopping. Pieces of batting. Yeah, the starter motor went. And that was That was annoying. It was a $300 fix. No biggie. Of the ones we've done so far here, I kind of like the polyfill the most, honestly. Yeah, there's an annoying, very annoying watch-type battery in these things. Which I am not anxious to replace, but they do last for flip all ever, so... I like the polyfill the best. Of course, the polyfill will respond to glue the worst, unfortunately. But polyfill is also the be the most resistant to weather and conditions. Come here. Of course, if I slathered the inside edge of that with hot glue and just mushed that polyfill on, that would stay right there. It's not soda, no. That's a lemonade mix. Water plus mix. I don't really do soda very extensively. No real need to do it around it, honestly. I'm just looking for something that makes the eyes not look doofusy. I kind of like that the best. Because these beer pong ball halves just, they suck. They absolutely suck. Granted, if I put them underneath that diffuses the light magnificently. But I kind of like it without the beer pong halves. No need to have them there when the polyfill already does it. Polyfill is strangely creepier. Looks like something's distinctly wrong with its eyes. And that I really like. But that's a final step anyways. Alexa, turn on craft light. Glue stick pens. I have not. I have not. Sounds intriguing already. Well, good boy, Sam. So that's most of they'll do. We're having some fun with the loot for the day, Rosani. I gotta find something to do with ping pong balls. Sure as heck aren't not playing much ping pong. This will be a bag of precious glass. Down there first. Some paper on top. Just gonna get the glassware tucked away. I may look into those. They sound intriguing. Okay. This will be the watch it, watch it, watch it, careful, careful, careful bag. At least until I go to Walmart and get myself a little tub that will be the witch kit. And have lots of glassware in it. Alright, we also got rat skeletons, which I'm going to hack apart for little arm claw bones, little leg claw bones, spine pieces, and rib pieces, because rats don't look like this. And we got bird bones, which again I'm going to hack apart for bird foot bone pieces, spine pieces, rib cage pieces. And this head I might use to model and use it as a form for what an actual bird skull might look like, because this looks nothing like an actual bird skull. Well, it looks loosely like an actual bird skull, but sure is smeg not enough for my haunt. And then the nicest thing that they had at the dollar store was these little skulls, which are actually pretty darn good. And I'm going to be using these a lot on the witch bottles. They're not as highly detailed as some of the others, but they really don't have to be. That's the cat chewing on a stick. And they're cheap. And they can be painted. Okay. So that's the loot, mostly. Now let's just hope I don't have to get up and move in a hurry. Cat! Alright. Garbage pieces, garbage pieces. Yeah, we're going to turn the glue gun off in a second. I'm not hot gluing anything else. That bit on the eyes of the skull was enough to diffuse it. I have no intention of burning myself up anytime soon. I missed my glue gun that had an on-off switch. Of course, I would drop that. And I have some keys. So this ring can't be broken unless I break it. Every key is identical. And there are 5 of them. Cool. One for every haunt person. Wow. Possible. Alright. Alright, let's get to work. Alright, well, if you take mache fluid and put it on the juke stuff, you get a really, really solid and inflexible piece. And its subdivisions are likewise nice, solid, and difficult to move, so that's a good form builder for Wytchwood. And if you surround it in cotton first, and that also holds up really, really, really well. You gotta really work to break that up. Okay. That being said, let's Wytchwood a skull. So I wanted to Wytchwood a skull for fucking weird now. You can't say wow. What? Oh. Did that not burn down all the way? Let's reignite that. Scent would be nice too. What happens if we use straight up thread saturation chamber? Do I have another one? No, this is the one. Get these out of here. Craft store metal, I have a feeling will have a bad habit of wanting to rust. Sam, what are you doing? Furball. Away from the LED portraits that we got today. Do not trust this cat. I better hang those ASAP. What are you doing? You are not jumping on that counter. You know you're not allowed up there. Say no, fuzzball. No. Oh. Hopefully that'll be cool soon. Okay. A little bit of this. Alright, do we saturate with whole pieces of coil? Or do we do it with whole pieces of coil? Or do we do it with pieces of jute cloth that have been covered? Ouch. Let's do a braid so it's not boring. Let's do a twist and a braid so it's not boring. How's it going, Rachel? What are you going to over there, Furball? He is just into everything tonight. Yeah. Any Wytchwood on this thing is going to start. Move back. It's not bad at all. Let's go with that. That's just where I wanted to pop off, so let's pop off. That'll be the start. And I got another bag of stuff in the cars. Split head. Saturate them separately. Can, but I don't know if there's much of a point to it. Split's a little easier. Let's go. Alexa, play Dear Esther soundtrack from my library. Nice. I actually just wrote to the composer to this to ask if I can use it for the Wytchwood tutorial. It was nice. She wrote back and said I could. Twisty, twisty. Attach that one right to this one. Come on now. I think when doing a skull, we're going to talk in terms of primary grades and secondaries. There's a primary. I want to take a much smaller primary. Up. Over there. How far is that? That's that far. Excellent. I'm wondering if these things elongate much in the saturation and squeeging process. Also kind of curious to see how well they bond to the paint that's already on the skull. Should be tolerably well. Yeah, we're Wytchwood in the skull. I have wanted to Wytchwood a skull for weeks. But all my skulls have been in the garage. Until I bought 4 at Christmas tree shop today. So this is going to be another primary grade. It's going to start roughly at the same spot at the back of the skull. Over. Down. Well, I just got permission from a composer to use her work for a YouTube video, but I did not ask for permission to play it ambiently in the background of my live streams. So sadly, you guys are not hearing the same tunes that I'm hearing. However, if you want to be, open up YouTube in a separate window, look for a very talented composer named Jessica Curry, and I'm listening to the Dear Esther soundtrack right now. Yeah, if I was going to do it, I would, I'd put a layer of mache on these guys. Actually, I would either take mache, or I would take some really watered down glue. Depends. Actually, you could get away with just putting a layer of mache paste on the outside, probably. You could also do some really watered down glue with just like some paper dust. Lots of options. Lots and lots of options. This one's too flat. Let's do one more primary braid. Personally, I think it's going to stick just fine. Judging by the fact that it's still gripping the skull, it's going to be A-okay. The problem I have is the skull wants to tip. Should be cool-ish by now. Should at least be able to lay it up there. Alright, from here, hopefully, I can work with raw cotton. I want to do another one using the jute as a primary and then cotton over the jute. Let's see which method is best. So unfortunately, as I'm looking at these braids, they don't look very woody to me at all. They lack the Wytchwood filaments, which I'm going to start laying on here. Well, the coil gives it the organic look, but it's a thump. It's a block. I'm not going to be able to take advantage of that braid, except for the fact that underneath it is going to be a rising, falling section. Because again, this thing just doesn't have any surface stuff, and it needs. Wytchwood needs filaments, in my opinion. Although I might be able to speed this up by getting filaments on both sides of a section and laying it across the top. It's not bad. This is prototype skull anyway. A lot of ghoulishly cool textures, though, as you move this stuff along, that's for sure. Me too, Mickey. Me too. Yesterday night, I was exhausted. Given the choice, I would rather not be exhausted. I'd rather be awake and crafting. Stringy bits don't help me here. Well, maybe stringy bits do help me. Let's take some stringy bits and lay them on top of the stuff. Oh yeah, stringy bits are fine. I take it all back. God, I love this technique. It's so easy. Comes out so good. Literally have to do next to nothing. It just comes out perfect. I'll take this down to the Dragonfire game on Friday night. Let everybody know, hey, this is what we're working on. Does this appeal? Who wants one of these for Halloween night? More filaments. Filaments first. Filaments first. Always filaments first. If you're lucky, you should be able to stain this tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Anything going on Wednesday? I gotta go to work. Get some things printed before all the kiddos come tumbling in. One thing that is going to be tough about this is going to be post-staining. This is going to want to be a brown skull. Which I don't think I have any problem with, but what if I don't want it to be a brown skull? can be very, very difficult to find areas I want white. Suffice to say, I think this technique would be impossible to do if you wanted a bleached bone skull. With Wytchwood over it. The filaments are too fine. I think, well, if you dry brushed on the Wytchwood, you're going to hit the white of the skull. If you I'm going to dry brush the skull to bring certain areas back to white or closer to white, but there's no way I'm going to be able to get the areas between the filaments. It's just not going to be possible. At least the way I'm building this one. Who knows? Maybe a more standard straight cotton Wytchwood build, you could do that. In fact, now that I'm thinking of it, that would work. The way that I'm doing it right now, though, would be impossible. But a straight cotton would definitely work. We're not doing that with this one, though. So this one, the Wytchwood, is going to grip the skull entirely too much in its evil clutches. There'll be no return for this one. I don't see any reason why you couldn't put glow paint on the Wytchwood. The only problem you would have is that you could dry brush over it. Anywhere you hit, though, is going to hit the glow paint. So if you brush onto somewhere that's not Wytchwood, it's going to pick up the glow effect. So might not necessarily be a bad thing. I would be highly tempted to experiment on a very small project, taking a bunch of glow paint and dumping it into the paper mache fluid, provided it was non-toxic. Then you probably wouldn't even have to paint the Wytchwood. It simply would be glow in the dark. But again, I would test that first before I went ahead and did it. Get like a 50-cent mini skull or something. Very small batch of mache paste. In fact, I would take some mache paste that you've already got made. I would dump a bunch of glowing glue into it. I'd just paint it on some cardboard, leave it out to dry, and see what that came out with, or came out like first. Because possibly you might not even like the initial look. So, you know, like Mythbusters, proof of concept, little experiments, build your way up. And then rock and roll with the Big Daddy. Because otherwise you risk doing a whole project and then having it come out and be like, alright, it's done! And turn out the lights! Oh my god, that's awful. Or more likely, that was not what I intended. I got this skull at Christmas Tree Shops in Syracuse, New York. They have the best skulls for the cheapest price anywhere. About $4 a skull, and they have glowing eye circuits. They also have giant skulls for $7. The giant skull is about twice as big. And I bought one of those too, but I didn't bring it over because I didn't plan on doing anything special with it. Only reason I got that is because we have several giant skulls which are a little dinged up from previous years. And I thought if any of them needed maintenance or whatever, it would be nice just to have an extra skull to be like, alright, that one is, no, not this year. Here, put the spare out. Yep, all black light paints have to be charged. Or not black, all glow-in-the-dark paints. Pardon, have to be charged in order to work. Yeah. Of course, nothing beats sunlight. Let's start the impression. A better base. This really throws off the I almost wish I had like a table or something to hook this onto. Purpose built. And ye shall receive. Yeah, it looks pretty secure. Of course, having said that, that means it's time to fall over. That is too much. Let's just cover it more now. What about the other stuff there? This thing's gonna need some touch-up work anyway. Maybe a layer of urethane, that's all it done. Alright, I'm thinking actually standard Wytchwood is probably going to work better than anything on this. I think it'll be easier to paint a skull bleached with standard Wytchwood. I think it'll look a little better. It's going to fall over if I put it there. It should fall a little less rapidly if I put it there. Oh, it was an interesting experiment. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now we know. This hyperfilament stuff might look good if you've got I don't know, like an alien kind of blood effect going on or something oozy like that. But if you want Wytchwood, you don't need this crap at all. I'm going to keep it on this guy because it's already part way through. Wait through this. I wonder if you do this in Wytchwood style. You'd probably go insane trying to do it. You'd need like a singular patch area. I don't think I'm going to do it. No point. It's also a lot faster to do it this way, too. You would have to use a dark brown paint for it because the stain, usually, most stains are hydrophobic. That is to say, they don't want to hang out and chill with water-based stuff. So you could use a dark brown acrylic paint. Other problems you'll run into with that is, number one, your hands are going to be brown as hell. Have a good one, Joey. Problem two you're going to have with that is anywhere the mache paste hits, it's going to paint that spot. So it will seep in, but it's going to paint as it applies. So kind of a mixed bag of benefits. Thank you, Mickey. Now, is it Mickey or Mikey? How are you pronouncing it? I could really go for a glass of wine tonight. Is it Mick like Irish? Or is it Mike like American? Mickey like the mouse. Okay. I always like to pronounce names right. It's a peeve of mine that comes from teachers. Right. Like the Irish. It's Mickey. Okay, let's do a little cosmetic work to this. Did it wrong, but that's not a problem. How's it going, Sean? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's how we're supposed to do it. Not the top way, the side way. It's going to look great once I do the second one. This one's a little botched, but I'm not too worried. This was an experimental piece anyway. We'll do another one in a minute. Next one we do, we'll do it right. course, it'll be dark when anybody sees this one, so nobody's going to notice or care the flaws that are going to me. So. How we doing, Children of Darkness? How's stuffing things? What we got here? A little bit. Let's add another section to this. Gimme goobers. Gimme goobers. Goober, 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 goobers. Alright, I love Dear Esther, but it's kind of interminable. Alexa, play classic rock. Yeah, baby. Of course, I gotta be careful what I wish for. Starting to get old. Classic rock is turning into, you know, things I don't interpret as classic rock. This sounds like a folk song. Yeah. How is this rock? Amazon! What kind of crazy nonsense are you pulling here? Fine. Alexa, play hard rock. I swear to God, I hear a ukulele. I'm going to lose it. Okay, there we go. Groove has landed. Okay. So that's a start. I'm not a fan. Should look okay when it's staying, though. bits left here. Enough pieces. Take care, Rosani. All right. Wytchwood on a skull. How not to do it? That. Who knows? I might like that look after I stain it. Let's put this skull in a drying space. Grab another skull and do it right. Please don't fall over, Mr. Skull. Please. Please, please, please don't fall over. Cat, don't knock over the skull. Alright, give me another skull. Take two. How are you, Mona? Not too bad. Went out and got loot today. Doing tests on the loot. Let's see if we have to do any extra glue effects. We use polyfill. No, we don't. Not at all. So I'm thinking the best method is get the polyfill squidged, put some glue around it, dump that in there, This skull comes from a store called Christmas Tree Shops. Or Christmas Tree Stores. In Syracuse, New York. That'll work. That's perfect. God, polyfill is such a great diffuser. I never would have guessed polyfill was such a good diffuser. Stop using ping pongs altogether. Straight polyfill. Alright, let's do this one right. Oh, he's got 3 more of these down by his room. I just went by Christmas Tree Shops anyway to get stuff, and I figured I would grab some skulls while I was there. Let's do this one right. Yeah, it's maybe a little darker than I'd prefer, but I'm really not worried. This is all quasi-experimental. We're going to do this one entirely in raw cotton. Hi, Majesty. How are you, Fuzzball? Good cat. Hey, Sergeant, how's it going? Yeah, it's an okay skull. We're about to make it a cool skull. Yeah, I agree. Skull in Wytchwood should look old. Well, how I dreamed of all these crazy ways to do this that would be simple and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and you know what? You just do it the regular way. Give me time, Mona. There's gonna be a groundbreaker of this eventually. Hi, cat. What are you doing, Fuzzface? Girl match. Yeah. You all passed out on the floor. Nice. Oh, this is so much better than that other method. Feels a lot better too. Nice one. This is all just regular raw cotton. It's all just unrolled cotton balls. The last one I did, I tried using cotton coil and getting crazy, weird, crafty on it. This one I'm just going back to roots, literally. And this is a lot better. Well, it's going to look great when the stain's on it. But again, all the details just right there in the cotton. The other one will be tolerable, but this one is just going to be so much better. This is going to stain better. It's going to be easier to touch up afterwards. This is going to be heads and tails above that other one, and I got 3 more skulls to do, and maybe I'll go back to the store. I don't know. Everybody's stuff looks elementary at first. It's the at first. That's the key. Right, meowing cat? Meow. Ooh, I've heard this song a long time. You know, I don't do too much in the way of insects in my hunt. I throw some of them in the gift bags, the little plastic ones, but main-wise, we really don't do a lot. I hope they did. Well, we got, let's see here. We got the books in there, plus this, the bugs, you know, all that stuff. Oh, cool. That should work pretty well, Mona. This skull came from Christmas Tree Shops in Syracuse. 2 smaller little branches. Yep, got the car back a day or so ago. Was a bad starter. They got it fixed up. Unfortunately, in their fixing of it though, they blew a fuse on my stereo system. So that's knocked out. I gotta go back in and say, hey guys, can you get that working again so I get tunes? Well, no, there are 2 secrets. Number 1, put your stuff away when you're done with it. Number 2, clean it. Honestly, before I started streaming, it was awful in here too. Absolutely awful. But I knew I wanted to craft, and one of the big dissuaders from crafting was the fact that it was just so awful in here. So I just said, no, this has got to be clean. I can't craft in a mess. So I went and did it. It's got to be done. Get some totes, get some tubs. Separate your crafting stuff. If you got fabric, put it in the fabric bin. If you got that, I got these big shelves. I got firework stuff on top. I got firework stuff on second down. I got random crafty crap, and then I got kind of a stuff I'm working on currently shelf towards near me. Yeah. As we know, if the classroom is too dirty, you're going to be like, I should go craft. Oh, but I got it. Oh, no, I won't go craft. It's horrible in there now. Yep, finish your projects. Yep. Stuff for smoke bombs, stuff for flash bombs, stuff for all sorts of horrible, horrible things. Yep, and that's what stops you from actually crafting. Because I was there. My God, I was there. You just won't even do it. I'm looking forward to staying in this thing tomorrow. This is probably going to be a Wytchwood tutorial video, I think, because it's going to be quick and easy and maybe get a lot of views. Actually, this would be a perfect project for somebody who is nervous about the technique and doesn't know, and they're not sure it'll come out good. And yeah. Go out, buy yourself a $4 skull, a $2 thing of cotton, unroll it, and go to work. Go to the dollar store and get a cheap stain, minimal cost. You'll know in 2 days if you like it. Yep, also good for practice, I think, too. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't matter how bad that crafting space is, you are obliged to pick it up. Good. My whole goal here was just use all the cotton. Well, oddly enough, the hard rock station on this Amazon widget is better than the classic rock. And the hard rock is by no means hard. Yep. Heaven bless the ladies who will not, or significant others, I should say, who will not tolerate the mess. They keep us honest. Yeah. You can leave that there, but it might not be here in the morning for you. Yeah. I got it, dear. Oh, this is a Wytchwood skull. Yeah, that never works, Sergeant. Don't matter if it was drying or what. Well, there's cut. Not much more. Good. Biggest problem with this project is just where to be able to grab the thing. After you've been working for a while. This also strikes me as a good project for Mod Podge. because there's a possibility that this Wytchwood will want to pull away from the skull in some spots. What day is it? Oh, it's Panic Day. Hubby comes home. Did find the bottle. I'm just concerned that if it starts peeling away from this project, like the bottle's got the spot on the neck where it can grip it, and a condensed spot, and it's also got a spot on the bottom where it's effectively paper on paper, where it can grip it well there too. But this is all paint and styrofoam. There's no paper on paper connection for it to have an anchor point. Part of the anchoring is just going to be the fact that this stuff should all, seal around it, forming a more or less congruent cap around the top that can't be pulled apart with ease. But if it starts to pull up, then you're looking at potential problems. I'd rather head that off at the pass. That, or you make yourself a paste for this ahead of time, where you just maybe mix in a little bit more glue than normal. Make yourself a glue-heavy mache paste. Like I got a piece here that's not too stuck to the skull. I'm almost out of cotton now, and I don't want to go overboard and making tiny pieces. I think I'm good with the overall effect. Let's just add on to and bulk up some thin spots. Here's Ramona goes berserk. If you remember that film. Let's get that really saturated. Yeah, I figured Target would be doing its stuff. My buddy and I were very, very picky in which places we hit today. Just because we got so much stuff. There's no need to go overboard. I got a little statue from Target from a couple years ago that's been sitting in my garage. Yeah, I'm glad to see that the mood is picking up in many places. I'll confess, the only thing that's been bugging me lately, though, has been all the folks popping onto the Facebook Halloween forums and being like, "Hi, I've never done X before. Can you all tell me how to do X?" And I'm thinking to myself, maybe this makes me a jerk, but if I had walked into the library in college saying like, "Hi, I have a report to do. Can you tell me how to report?" I'd have been a colossal prick. It's like, could you please do your research, guys? Just go on Google. Before you say, "I've never made creepy dolls before," how do you make creepy dolls? Why don't you go on Google and look it up, and go on YouTube and look it up before you ask the opinion of the forum? Do your research. Oh, early schmerly. The Christmas stuff is already out, for God's sakes. Yeah. A lot of these folks need to stop being so frickin'... I don't know how to X. Can you show me how to X? Go do your research. If you have particular questions, then we'll be happy to answer those. But if you haven't even bothered to look up the basics and you want me to instruct you and hold your hand through all of it, no. Go adult. Yeah, some of them are also just, "I'm nervous, I've never done this before." But, that shouldn't halt basic basic academic response. Go look it up. First person to build a bicycle. You know what they did? They got two wheels and went, "Huh, I'll go do some research." Yeah, all my students are like that, Sergeant. "What are we doing today? What's going on?" "How do I do that?" "Look at the instructions." "The what?" Yep. Go to the card catalog, child. The card who? You live in the information age. You have no excuses. Drives me bananas. Yeah. Reading? I don't like to read. I don't like to listen to whiny brats. I guess we both have to suffer. But when they do finally get it, it's nice. Did you figure it out? Yeah, I went and looked it up and I got it. Hey, I don't get this part right here. Oh, that means this. Okay, thanks. You got the rest? Yeah, I got the rest. Awesome. You know how to adult now. That's what adulting is all about. And that's a Wytchwooded skull. That's 10 times better than the other one I did. Oh yeah, it's everywhere. I always find it just annoying that we live in the information age. when people can't look stuff up. Especially with that whole bit with the online forums. I've never done this before. How do I do it? The fact that you posted it here means you have access to a computer. That means you also have access to Google. Get going. Yeah, this thing's going to be great tomorrow. We'll stain it, see how it comes out, and I'll put those two polyfill burbles in the eyes. I'll see if it needs whitening anywhere else. And that's a hell of a good skull. It also weights it down more, which I like too. We'll see if it needs any gluing. And then we'll take a look at that other dumpster fire I made earlier. If I'm really pissed at that one, I swear I will just rip all that cotton off and start over again. That other one is just, ugh. Alright. Yeah, it doesn't take that much. We're all right here. We're all indexed. Sigh. Alright. Well, gang, it is midnight here, so I am gonna call it a night. Alexa, stop. I'm gonna let these two skulls dry. Next couple days, we're gonna... What are we gonna do? We're gonna witchify those potion bottles. I'm gonna order some tiny puck lights if I can. Yeah, I love that smoke bomb. I so wish I could do pyrotechnics in the place I am now. I got so much materials for it. I got a ton of potassium nitrate. I got a ton of wax. I got everything. Good night. Have fun, everyone. Set this to dry. And we will rock and roll it tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe work on the lantern. I should be able to print out those panels. Thank you. I think this one's going to be good. We'll do a bunch more like it. And get this going. Alright, got some clay in this back. Cool beans. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow. Did I pick that thing up, or am I about to step on it? I'm about to step on it. Of course, I only have 40,000 of those controllers now, so... to make up some more paste, so... Alexa, turn off craft light. Of course, that piece of plastic is down there now. Particles. Get in there. Try the skull.